All right. Well, good morning, Rotary District 7770. Welcome to Conversations with Rotary Action People for Monday, October 26th. My name is Donald Hovis, your CWRAP host, and I'm from the CWRAP Rotary Club in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Today is all about why we support the Rotary Foundation, and our speakers are Terri and Don Brashears. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
We're happy you're with us. We can't wait to your presentation here in a few minutes, but let me get to some announcements and I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you.
All right. So those of you on the Zoom call, thanks for being here. We do appreciate it very much. Introduce yourself in the chat box with your name, your Rotary Club, and this question. So today, October 26th, is National Pumpkin Day. So how about in the chat box, tell us the favorite thing you like to make using pumpkin this time of year, whether that's a pumpkin pie, pumpkin, a pumpkin bread, like pumpkin bread, pumpkin roll. Let's see some creativity there. All right, introducing the CWRAP team. She is sporting that purple wig and now a polio mask. We're going to talk about that more at the end of today's segment, but that's Mary Gask with the 5 Points Rotary Club and our public image chair for District 7770. So thank you, Mary. Appreciate it. All right, so here's a little information on Terri and Don Brashears, who are our speakers. Don joined Rotary in 2001. He was past president in 2016, 2017. I believe that's in Hilton Head Island, if I'm correct. He is a member of the Paul Harris Society. Terri, she joined Rotary in 2018, and she is current board director of youth services. And then Terri and Don, in the year 2019, became members of the Arts Clump Society. So thank you, one, for supporting the Rotary Foundation and for being with us today. So I know you've got a great presentation, so I'm just going to ask you guys to speak now and take it away.
Thank you, and thank you to Bernie for inviting us on this. Means a lot. So, like so many of you, Don and I do our, hold on. I have to put up our PowerPoint.
All right, so if you share your screen down there at the bottom.
Yeah.
Let's see. There we go. We see it.
Thank you. Okay, sorry about that. So like so many of you, Don and I do our best to lead a Rotary-filled life. In our community, we are involved in local nonprofits, specifically the Literacy Center, which Don is on the board. And here they teach immigrants, adult immigrants, English. I'm on the board of Hopeful Horizons, which is a child advocacy, domestic violence, rape, crisis intervention center. And of course, the Rotary Club of Hilton Head. We continue to support other nonprofits like the Children's Center and Habitat for Humanity. It's all part of making a difference locally. Over the years though, through Rotary and teaching, we have become more internationally minded, giving a great deal of thought about what we can do to make the world a better place. This became our goal. Our focus was always long-term, looking to the future. The Rotary Youth Exchange Program, which we've been involved with, has given us an international family that continues to enrich our lives. We had the privilege of being a host family to 13 students from 2004 to 2015. And our bond with these girls grows stronger every day. Attending the Rotary International Conventions for several years, we see how this has broadened our perspective and how we see the world through the lens of Rotary. When we see the impact the work of Rotarians from all over the world do, is truly a humbling experience. So these experiences put Don and I on a path to be part of doing good in the world. We knew that we could make a meaningful contribution to our goal and establish a legacy at the same time. If we chose the Rotary Foundation over our local profit organizations, the work of the Rotary Foundation is life-changing across the continents, and we knew we wanted to be part of this. Once we made the decision to move forward, we had several conversations with Carl Davis, whom many of you know. He is the Senior Major Gifts Officer for the district. At that time, we were ready to make our investment change priority from growth to providing income for a sustainable retirement. Carl explained that we could turn our charitable gift into a legacy and make a positive impact in the world at the same time. We would be able to generate income through what is called a life income agreement. So under this life income agreement, our donated funds are directed toward one of the areas of focus that you designate. For Don and I, we chose basic education and literacy. From the time that we donated our money or other assets, it is generating income at an established rate that pays us interest either monthly or quarterly for our lifetime. The principal amount of the donated fund is held in trust until both of us pass on. And at that time, our monies are put to work in building schools and providing educational resources across the world. There are other benefits to form a charitable giving to the Rotary Foundation. Our donation, one, created a significant upfront deduction. We pay taxes yearly on 1/3 of the income that we receive until our capital amount has been reached. After that, our full yearly interest becomes taxable. In doing our research on this plan, we discovered that the Rotary Foundation is a 4-star charity rated at the top of the charitable scale. We also learned that a percentage of all donations made to the Rotary Foundation that is used for overhead is only 8%, one of the lowest percentages in the charitable industry. The interest rate was relatively competitive with insurance companies' annuity plans and backed by $1 million. $1 billion, thank you, Don. $1 billion in foundation assets. Investing our money in the Rotary Foundation has proved and is continuing to prove to be a sound decision in so many ways. And now Don will share.
So the question comes up, how did we get to choose the Rotary Foundation? As Terri said earlier, considerations had to be given to the nonprofits here in our community that we have contributed to over the years, and both charities, Hopeful Horizons and the Literacy Center, could certainly use the funds to expand their operational base and help more people in need. We talked about the experiences in all the organizations that we are involved in and asked ourselves, what would have a bigger impact on future generations, and how have these organizations impacted our lives? As you may know, Terri and I were host parents for 13 youth exchange students over a course of 13 years. This program and the good it does for so many young adults continues to be in our thoughts every day. What each youth exchange student took back to their home country impacted their life almost immediately. We have learned about their lives since their exchange year, from the return visits to our home with their relatives and our visits to them in their home countries. We see how they have evolved in life from our group chats where we exchange emails and texts with them all the time. We know, and they tell us, how Rotary had a big effect on their lives, which is something that they will never forget. A really telling event for us was at the time one of our exchange students, Jenny from Finland, broke her femur at the high school. We arrived just before the ambulance at the hospital. When they opened the ambulance door, we could see that her left foot was by the left side of her face. Within minutes, our Rotary Exchange counselor asked us what was the next step. We told her we needed to notify our parents in Finland as soon as possible. Shortly after the connections through Rotary networks, we were in touch with the parents in Finland with a translator on the line to explain to them what had happened. It was at that time that we committed that someone to the parents, that someone would be with Jenny while she was in the hospital until she returned home. After several days and a minimum of action here at our hospital, a few Rotary members approached me after the meeting and told me to get her immediately to MUSC. At midnight, we followed the ambulance transporting Jenny to MUSC. Excuse me, this is like it was yesterday. When we arrived, we met the entire surgical team where we explained it. They explained what would happen in the morning. After the surgery, Terri and I stayed with Jenny for the first 24 hours. Keeping our promise there would be someone at all times with Jenny. Members of the Rotary Club of Charleston then took shifts to cover around the clock until Jenny left the hospital a week later. We communicated with the team every day until she returned home. Because Terri and I were working, our Rotary Club members pitched in while we were at work and took good care of Jenny in her home. We are proud to say that Jenny graduated from University of Helsinki and is now practicing law. She is living in Helsinki, Finland, with her husband and their 2 children. We learned firsthand from this experience what Rotary is all about. Rotary is truly a family and is there when you need them, no matter where you are in the world. At the Rotary International Conventions, we felt the same family relationship with everyone we met, even though we couldn't speak their language. This is just one of another example of the experiences of Rotary and why we chose the Rotary Foundation as our primary charitable contribution. So now the question becomes, why give to the Rotary Foundation versus letting your inheritance pass on to your family members? Like most of you, Terri and I work very hard for our money. We always knew that saving a good portion of what you earned and improving on that savings rate every time you got a boost in earnings, that it would make for a far more enjoyable life in the future. We also knew at the end of the life, you're not going to end up with zero money since you never want to outlive your funds. That got us to thinking about what to do with any potential estate and passing on an inheritance to our kids and family members. We know what it took to save the money that we have saved over the years. We earned it and sacrificed it to save it, and we now appreciate it. Giving it all to your kids when there was so much need in the future for so many in the world didn't seem to make sense. Having witnessed friends and even relatives inherit money over the years, that money was never spent and appreciated the same way as those folks who gave it. Think about the return on investment that you get when you may pass your money on versus the return on investment in the Rotary Foundation. Our thought was to see how we could best utilize a portion of our money by giving it to the Rotary Foundation in a cause we believed in. In our case, it is education and literacy. Leave the rest to our daughters, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren. Hopefully they can follow our lead in what they do with their money, and at the end of their lives, contribute to the future of their community and global needs. This kind of giving comes with setting the example first and letting them know what it means. This doesn't mean that we preach Rotary to them constantly. It is by our actions that we expose them to the important things that we are doing, and that includes giving back and paying it forward in your community first, then a legacy for the future. Fortunately, we figure our kids are on the right path. When it came to money, my parents, quoting a famous person, used to say, save some, spend some, and give some away. We have always tried to follow that advice, and the Rotary Foundation has provided us with a great vehicle to give some away in a meaningful and efficient way with many reward options. Most of what you see in the Rotary magazine every month tells a story of how your money will go to work. You are making it happen to make the world a better place.
So, as you know, our goal is the $1 Million campaign to raise at least $1 million for the Rotary Foundation. And to do that, there are qualifying gifts. A single gift of at least $10,000, major gifts or bequests are welcomed. So a major gift, this can include a cash, and it can be spread out over a 3-year pledge, a lifetime income agreement, which is what Don and I have done, stock transfers, charitable gift annuities, as well as many other possibilities. Talking about bequest, again, this is at least a $10,000 commitment. This can be through estate planning, and a percentage of your estate can be taken. You can allocate specific amount of stocks, shares of stocks, and a specific dollar amount. It is as simple as including it in your will. It's all about leaving a legacy. You can have a named endowed fund, and this would be a minimum of $25,000. You would support one of the causes in your name, and these are some examples. John Doe for Healthy Children Fund, Mary Smith's Education Fund, the Harris Family for Clean Water Fund. For confidentiality, you would work with and contact Carl Davis. He is extraordinary. He helped us so much, and we really, really picked his brain because we wanted all the answers and we had a lot of questions, and we couldn't have been more pleased with the outcome. So this is his contact, and I'm sure it will be provided later in chat or an email. So what are the areas of focus where you can designate your money? Basic education and literacy, which is important to Don and I, peace and conflict prevention and resolution, disease prevention and treatment, water and sanitation, maternal and child health, economic and community development, and the newest one, supporting the environment. Who is on the $1 Million campaign team? It's 21 Rotarians from all geographic areas of our district, and it's our mission to identify and cultivate potential donors. We were trained by none other than Carl Davis from our Rotary Foundation, and we as a team are a resource for district leadership, clubs, and members considering making a gift. Each member has committed, so each of us has committed to make a major gift or a bequest, which I think is the best part. And here's our team. So many of you on the call right now are here. Okay, lots of familiar faces. So the $1 Million dinner will be held on May 5th of 2021 at the Francis Marion Hotel in Charleston. The event chair is Sandy Morkel, the Rotary Club of Charleston, and it is going to be spectacular. We're so proud that our Rotary International President, Olga Anak, and past Rotary Vice President, Ann Matthews, our very own, will be in attendance. This is by invitation only for qualified donors and guests who are invited at no charge. So what can you do? Make a major gift or a bequest to our Rotary Foundation. Receive more information from any of us on the team. Foundation speakers are available. I know Bernie has asked Don and I to go on the road. And talk to your tax, legal, or financial advisor and help identify potential donors. But the bottom line is to get involved. You know, I think both Don and I, we feel like Rotary is a part of our life. It's who we are, and we believe in all of it. And we just feel it's like our responsibility to get involved and make our place in this world to do good. So thank you. That's it.
Well,
And
thank
we
you.
have time.
Thank you, Brashears. We do appreciate it. I did post Carl's email address in the chat if anyone is interested. And if you have a question for the Brashears at this point, please post that in the chat box as well. While we were waiting on any questions to come in, I'll ask Mary Gask if she can come off of mute.
Got it.
Talk about your mask that you're wearing.
Yeah, so Bernie's got one on too.
Hold
We
on
just
one
got
second,
these
Mary.
in.
Hold on
Excuse
one
me?
second. Brashears, can you stop your screen share, please?
Yeah, I'm trying to do that. Thank you. Where is it?
Is it up here?
Up at the top. 1 second, Mary. They can't see your face if it's not on screen share.
Yeah,
All right.
I'm lost here.
That's it.
I got it. I'll be able to do it. Hold on a second.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Yay. There you go.
All right,
Sorry.
Mary, take it away.
Okay, this mask. This is, well, can you see it? It's kind of fading out on me. There you go. All right, that's one side. And that's the other side. And to put it on, you just wrap it around your ears like we do all of our other masks. And there you go. It's in polio now, and it's the Rotary Purple Pinky Polio Power, and it has our district listed on it. We're going to sell these for $10. Postage, if you just get one, is nothing. If you get more than that, you will need to pay the postage, except for, I think Bernie has it set up so that you can go to my Rotary, and we'll put that information in the chat box. You can order it through there, and Bernie will eat the postage. He's nicer than I am. I'm not eating the postage. We'll send you these, but I'm going to charge you. But when Bernie sells them, and Bernie can explain this to you, it goes toward the your club giving. It goes toward your contribution to polio during the year, and it goes toward our challenge. So Bernie, you want to talk a little bit about that from your end?
I'm doing this 500 mile, Lou, not 5,000. I'm doing this 500 mile walk run challenge, and there's a link, and I'll make sure everybody can get the link. But if you click on that link and you donate that way, if you order any masks, I will eat the shipping. Whatever the shipping is, I will eat that. You just have to pay the $10 a mask by making your contribution on that link. Make sure you use the same email address that you would use when you go into My Rotary. If you do that, you'll get credit, your club will get credit, the district will get credit, you'll get a tax receipt. It's all good. And you don't have to run, I do all the work. So I run and walk, and you just get to complain at me. So anyway, here's the mask. It's a great mask, by the way. I've already sold 20.
20.
So they're going fast.
And just real quick, how many masks do you have?
Bernie has 200, I have 200, and Pauline, I think, has 50. We
Okay.
ordered a total of,
Yeah.
is that right?
Yes, that's right.
Maybe it's 100, 150. We ordered a total of 250.
Yeah.
Yes.
Gotcha.
So,
Limited quantity. If you want one,
yeah, and
get
I'm going to
that.
put something up on the district Facebook page about that as well. But yeah, they're neat, and they feel good. It's good quality. it's a very comfortable mask. And of course, I still have some of the Musketeer mask if you want some of those. Donald, there's some questions and comments on the chat box. You want me to tell you what those are? Can you still not scroll down on those?
I can see them. Brashears,
Okay.
come off of mute at this point. And I'll ask you, there's 2 questions here for you. And then, Mary, maybe you can reply to the bottom question about who made the mask. So, Brashears, how long did it take working with Carl?
Okay, because we because we both work and we keep busy with these charitable groups, it was kind of off and on. It was we contacted Carl and asked him for the details of the gift trust, and then we talked to him once or twice, and that's in a 6-month period. And then we met with him face to face, and he gave us the details. And there was follow-up from not only Carl but also the foundation to make sure that we knew exactly, what exactly would happen, because there are other parts to this. It's just not the income. There's there's an upfront charitable deductions that's sizable, and you have to, of course, you need the documentation for that for your tax return. And then you go into the income, and you want to make sure that that's what you need and it's going to fill your needs. And then you have to close it out by funding it, which we did. So, yeah, probably, I mean, if you put it in terms of hours and days, probably 2 days of reviewing papers, 3 days maybe of face-to-face meetings and emails. Not complicated, it's just that I asked probably twice as many questions as everybody else.
Questions are a good thing. And the link that Bernie was talking about, oh, there it is. We'll post that in the chat. All right, last question for you is, can the Rotary Foundation, as a successor trustee of an existing charitable remainder trust, if the foundation is designated as the remainder charitable beneficiary?
All right, that sounds like an ex-lawyer's question. And I would say that that's a Carl question. I wouldn't want to answer it, and he's the guy to answer that question. But one way or the other, would get the money in.
And I'd just like to say, last weekend, we would have been in Evanston, Illinois for our induction to the Arch Clump Society. But because of the pandemic, it's been postponed. So we are looking forward to that.
Well, thanks again for your presentation this morning.
Okay, you're welcome.
You're welcome.
And for those that are on here, we're recording this that goes on YouTube. Plus, you can see previous CWRAPs on the front page of DACDB. Plus, this is currently running live on the District 770 Facebook page. So we encourage you to go there and share it to your club pages after this. And then speaking of CWRAP, we have, 2 more speaking engagements this week, with Wednesday being Bud Welch from the Carolina Balloon Fest. And then on Friday, October 30th, or Halloween Eve, we're going to call that, we're going to do some Halloween trivia. So brush up on your Halloween trivia, because you could win prizes. And Mary, you're raising your hand.
Yes, I was going to tell you that Russell Hampton made the mask. There's a minimum order of 250. So if you want them, you're going to need to get them from Bernie or me or from Pauline. Sorry, guys.
And the link that Bernie was talking about with the My Rotary link and stuff like that is in the chat box. Plus, I've reposted Carl Davis's email address. That one question that was posted, they said should be directed towards him. So there you go.
Thank you. Thank you, Don.
You're very welcome, Bernie. Thank you. For those of you on here, I know I saw some pumpkin martini lovers, some pumpkin soup lovers, some pumpkin bread lovers. So maybe we'll have to have a cooking segment on here soon of all your delicious things, or a pumpkin cook-off or something of that sort one day when we can all get back together, right? So excellent presentation, Brashears. Do appreciate it. Those of you on here, thanks for being here. I will conclude with the 4-way test. of the things we think, say, or do? Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? Have a wonderful Monday. We'll see you on Wednesday for the next conversation with Rotary Action People. Take care. That's a wrap. Bye-bye.